Okay, it's first thing in the morning. As per usual, I feel pretty bad, as I usually do when I first wake up. For the first half hour of my day, if I can explain it in a way that most people will understand, is I feel like I've got the flu or a hangover after a full night of sort of dancing or a day of physical exertion, and at the moment it's manifesting in my lower back, which is kind of frustrating because I kind of need my lower back in order to mow the lawns and do what I can do. But I am going to just keep on chipping away with what I am able to do, and then once I've got to a certain point, I'll see where we're at. And I guess I'm still a little bit stressed out because I'm waiting for the new contractor that I contacted to get back to me with a quote. So hopefully that happens today. Let's start with the plumbing and get the old broken piece off so that I can start to measure up and replace it with the new plumbing supplies that I got. I managed to get 3 of the rusted old screws out that are holding the old pipe fitting off, but the third one's not moving. I don't know if it's a problem with the angle I'm trying to get it at, or if it's just not going to budge at all. So what I'm going to try and do is I'll try and move the ladder around to the other side and see if I can get it to loosen up from the other side where I can get a better angle on it. I'm going to have to cut some of the little seedlings that are in the way out of the way in order to do that. And if that fails, then I'll get the drill and I'll see if I can drill out the old rusted screw. Yeah, so of course nothing's going to be easy for me, especially while I'm struggling. Even just getting up the ladder at the moment is causing me a lot of grief. Yeah, that was painful to remove, especially with the fibro, but I've got the piece off. I had to use a combination of tools, and I can also tell that the replacement parts that I got for this inflow to the tank are the right parts. So all I really need to do is to measure up the pipe part, this part, so it's probably about this long, and then put the other elbow on. These are the new elbows, at least. So this one matches the current elbow where it was attached, where I just removed it. So I have to drill, there's some guides here, but I just need to drill holes that correspond with the old pipe. And look at it. And then this one goes on the other end where the water pours into the tank. And then the other thing to do is grab this replacement pipe and where it all locks together, and make sure it's not too long or too short. Well, that was very interesting. So when I got up there to remove that inflow pipe, I saw when I opened the top of the tank that there's actually about half a tank of water in there. So the reason why I'm not getting water through the pump is a little bit of a mystery. It could just be that the pump has given up the ghost. It's not been set up very well. It's kind of exposed to the elements, so or maybe it just shut itself down for some reason. It doesn't change the fact that I need to block the other pipes that go around to the corner to feed the toilet and the bathroom, but that at least gives me something positive to think about, that there is actually plenty of water here, probably to last me for the next 2 weeks of doing things. I just can't access it right now. Definitely not straight. What I did up there is I marked off where the old hole points were, so I can kind of try and match them the best as I can, so that I'm not hanging on the ladder with my bad back and drilling the holes while I'm up there. So you can see I've marked off the points where the old screws were connected, and I've added a little cross there, which is where I'm going to drill the new holes so that I can attach it without too much stress. That's not good. It means that my drill's dying. Okay, so I did it. I've installed the new inflow pipe up there, and while I was up there I also had a look in the tank, which seems to have ample water in it. It's the filter. Let's take this off. If you have a look inside, there's actually quite a bit of water still left in the tank. So that says to me that my water supply issue has less to do with the tank capacity right now and more to do with some sort of blockage in the water line somewhere, or the old water pump has given up the ghost. In that case, a new water pump will cost around 304 Australian dollars, and I don't have the money for that this trip anyhow if I'm going to do the fire breaks. Yeah, so this is the handle that's supposed to start the water flow. This is the water pump here, which, as you can see, is pretty old, but it was working, so I don't really understand why it's not working now. It's the switch for the water pump. So the water pump going. So the water pump went for a few seconds and then it shut itself off, and usually when it does that, that means the water's not getting in there. It's not gushing, is it? Alright, well, so so it's me that's the problem. the water pump. So I had it going in the wrong direction. I'd switched it off instead of on. So this is all rotten. But I actually might have some replacements for it. Yeah, that's completely stuffed. And then there's two parts. Ah, there we go. That's off. Right. I'm going to switch off the water. I guess that's all water coming out of the hot water cylinder in there. What a waste of water. At least that gives me the correct thread size for any attachments that I need to add to it, and some of the pipes that I need to replace. Let me take this, and I can use this when I go to the hardware store to try and match some parts. Melt it on. Might be hard for me to get that off. But I'll just leave that on there anyhow, because at the very least that's one way I can stop the bugs from blocking that up in the meantime while I try and figure out the rest of the water flow problems. There's probably a fair bit of pipes that I need to replace. So what I'm going to do is grab some PVC tape here, and I've got this bolt which is a little bit too small to block it properly. Make sure it's pointing up like that, and dentists hate me for doing that. Going to PVC bolt on. And then seal it up the best I can with PVC tape. Once I've repaired the pipes, they're off. I don't know if that's a really nasty bug or what. Okay, we're looking good. Water's on. There's a little bit of dripping coming from the top there, but it's not pouring water out. D.I.Y system again, see if it works on this part as well. Yep, that's going to fit. Cool. Let's do the same with this. Now, let's try that water pump again. Hopefully I've solved my gushing water loss problem. Sprayed water over my precious camera, that it hasn't destroyed the camera. I have had enough of plumbing for today, especially after that last font of water almost destroyed this camera. Fortunately, it seems to be fully functional. It didn't get into the housing at all, or into the lens, or into the battery casing, or anywhere where it could cause any real damage. I think I just grabbed it just in time. But yeah, I'm going to put a pin in it. I've got work to do for my clients. That's a priority really for me, and I'd like to cut this as well and get this up so I can balance that kind of keeping everybody informed of where I'm at and keeping my clients happy with me to the best that I can. And I'm just going to have to step back and have a think about how to stop the water flow to that hot water cylinder, because what really happened there is that the pressure built up, the water pressure built up far too much. It's a lot more than just, I'd imagine that the hot water cylinder acts as a compression unit and increases the pressure inside it. So yeah, basically it would have split the PVC piping, shot that bolt off somewhere. I'll probably discover it when I'm mowing the lawn. And I mean, you saw the rest.